Hello, and welcome to session 4. Thank you for persevering through these sessions. This one's particularly exciting because we're going to be talking about some of the oopses that people make. Again, based on the Strunk and White, the elements of style. We've talked about the elementary rules of usage, composition, matters of form, and now, this is, I think, the funnest one, all the things we do wrong because we commonly misuse words. And then we'll wrap it up next time. So let's look at words and expressions that are commonly misused. Aggravate means to add to. So if your children do something that annoys you, they're not aggravating you, they're irritating you. For example, in the law, we talk about aggravating events or incidents that add to the penalty that you should get. So you have aggravated assault. You didn't just assault the person, but you added to it. You had a weapon or something like that. So aggravate means to add to a sentence or a situation. Irritate is what your children do. Allude means to indirectly refer to something. So if it alluded, the author alluded to. Elude is to evade a pursuer. Somebody's chasing you. Could be that kid that was irritating you. Okay. That kid eluded you. Okay. You eluded the kid, whatever. Somebody was being pursued. That's elude. Allude is to indirectly refer to. So the author alluded to something. An allusion, again, goes to allude. It's an indirect reference. But an illusion is when the magician makes a handkerchief look like a dove, okay? That's a false impression. But an allusion is an indirect reference. When you alternate, it's every other one in the series, okay? So we lined up a bunch of people and we alternated the second, fourth, sixth, eighth, whatever, every other one. Alternative means didn't really like the assignment. The students didn't like it, so I gave them an alternative assignment. Among means that there's two or more people involved, but between suggests a relationship, like between heirs, between countries. It's a closer relationship. Among just means there were pigeons among the tourists, okay? Anybody means any person. Any space body means any corpse, okay? Anyone is any person. Any space one is any one of a group. Hope that helps. So here's some more boo-boos. Disinterested means I'm impartial. In other words, I don't have a dog in this fight, right? In other words, I could be unbiased. But it doesn't mean I'm not interested. It means that I am not going to be partial in a decision. Effect is a result. It's a noun. Affect is a facial expression as a noun, but it also is the verb. So an affect is to influence something. So he affected the people, but the effect of the implementation was a noun. It was the result. Farther is used for distance. I went farther than anyone else. Further is used for time or quantity. So I read further in the book, or I worked further on it. It's time or quantity. Farther is only for distance. Inflammable is an interesting word because inflammable actually means it can catch fire. But when you put inflammable on trucks, people think it won't blow up. So now you do see the word flammable because it is confusing. Folk means people. So when you have a folk dance, it's a cultural dance. But folks are your parents, your family, or even those present. Hi, folks. Hey, folks. Fortuitous means happening by chance, not necessarily by luck. So here's some more. Imply is suggested, indicated. It didn't exactly express it, but the author implied it. But inferred is stronger. It means that it was deduced from evidence. The hen lays an egg, puts the egg down. The subject puts something down, but the llama puts himself down. That's lies. So lies means that the subject puts themselves down. Lays means that you put something else down. As is the conjunction with phrases, as babies do. But you use like with nouns, like me. So if you don't see a whole phrase, use like. A lot of people use most instead of almost. Most everyone, blah, blah, blah. It should be almost. Nauseous means sickening to contemplate. I am nauseous about violence in our society. Nauseated means sick to your stomach. Partially means to a certain degree, not fully. Partly means distinct from the whole. That is a restrictive word. The student that failed. There were lots of students, but that student failed. The paper, which is due next week, is long. So which is not restrictive, but the student that failed is telling you which student failed. So you see the student that failed, you don't have a parenthetical expression either. That the paper is long, period, but it is also due next week. Okay, then there's redundancies. It's saying things twice. As being. What? Just say being. As to whether. Say whether. As yet. Say yet. But that. Say that. Currently. What do you mean currently? Just say it. Is a man who? What? Just say Cameron is worried about his. He's not a man who is worried about his, right? Respective and respectively. They're redundant. I'll tell you another thing that's redundant is after the level heading conclusion to say in conclusion. That's redundant. You just said it was a conclusion. Plural words, we said in a previous session. Data is a plural word. Strata is a plural word. Phenomenon. You never talk about a phenomenon. Talk about phenomena. And media. Those are all plural words. Note they all end in A. Don't use and/or. That's not scholarly. It's shorthand. Don't use different than. The term is different from. Each and every one. I mean, that sounds like a salesman, right? Don't use etc. It means and the other things. It's really a lazy approach to writing. List the other things. Fact. Don't you hate the fact that the truth is, right? Only use this word if you can really verify it. Has not got. He has no sense, right? He has no sense. It's not he has, I can't even say it. He has not got sense. Irregardless is not a word. Regardless. Kind of, sort of. Those are soft, wishy, squishy words. Literally, very overused. Student body. What is a student body? Use students. Thrust. It's an aggressive word. Try not to use it. Try. I just did. It's very weak. Try not to use it. Don't use it. Adverbs and adjectives really don't belong in scholarly writing because they show bias. Hopefully, I will get a good grade. Importantly, interestingly, meaningful, nice, personally, prestigious. Who cares, right? Regretfully. Even firstly, secondly, thirdly, you don't need that. So well done. Very good. Worthwhile. These are all your opinions. Let your reader draw their own opinions. That's what's scholarly. Beware of split infinitives. To be sometimes, not to sometimes be, because the verb is to be, and you've split it up with sometimes. So here is how you use shall and will. I shall and we shall. You will. He, she, they will. So I shall and we shall are the only shalls. Everything else is a will. So final takeaways, refine the fine points. This, by the way, was also at the aquarium in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Sometimes you feel upside down, but refine the fine points of your writing to be sure that your writing not only meets the APA style, but you're using proper words in proper ways so people will respect what you're saying because they aren't really focused on, hey, wait a minute, that's upside down. Reach out to me if I can help you in any way.